All right, so I'm gonna build a tent. First off, what I do is when I get the tent, whether I'm buying the tent or if I'm borrowing the tent, I take it home and I set it up just to go easy run through. Before you get out there, first off, you need to know if you have all the parts. Make sure you have everything. If I'm setting it in my backyard, I usually don't put a tarp under it. But when I go camping, I always bring a tarp because you don't want to puncture your tent or damage the tent or get water in the tent. Or else you won't be able to use it anymore. So I'll show you how to set up the tent. First off, you want to check the ground and make sure that there's no sharp objects, rocks. Make sure it's pretty level. Lay your butt down. It usually only comes with 2 poles, sometimes 3, depending on how big the tent is. Normal tents usually just come with your 2, like a cross. So you just put it together. I just did this in my mom's living room, so make sure it fit in here. And tents have actually been around for a long time. If you go biblical, a tent was first mentioned in Genesis in the 4th chapter. And the guy he had a herd of sheep and goat, and he was sleeping in a tent. As far as any other cultures go, if you want to go back, cavemen, they slept in tents. Depending on what atmosphere you lived in, you could make tents out of either animal skins, leaves and sticks, and it was just an easy structure to assemble. You could move it quickly, so anyone that was on the move, Indians, all cultures, including military. Most military that have ever been in combat at all, anywhere, either in their own country or another country, have lived in tents, including our military now. Some of our military came home and they were in tents now. So it can actually be a home also. Yeah, absolutely, we're homeless. So you just stick all the poles in through the top. Usually you can tell it goes straight through, and then you'll have another line that goes straight through. And they'll either have clips or the line just extends all the way down. If it falls, don't worry. Put together the other arm, and that's for the top. That's if you have 3 poles, that one will go across your roof when you put it up. And usually people help put the tent up, but I always do mine by myself. Kick all the boys out of the way. Just do it. You slide it right through. And it usually only takes a minute. It usually tells you right on the tent how long it takes to set up after. So, sorry, I hope I don't hit anyone. Stick it in, either it'll have like a metal clip that you clip it in on the other end, or it'll just have these little pockets. Stick it in. And me and my kids go camping a lot, but this is gonna be for the backyard tent. So they're gonna be happy when I get home tonight. I get a tent. And then if you are sleeping outside overnight in the tent, it comes with a cover that goes on top. I recommend that you put the cover on because as you sweat during the night or even breathe during the night, it causes condensation and you will be wet in the morning. So put the cover on. And the covers usually just come in it. Very simple. And sometimes they have these for like a peek. And then I'll show you how to take it down and put it back in the bag. Most people don't do that well. They just crumble it and throw it around. And then it gets damaged. So I recommend you do that. All right, 10 up. Make sure you put the top on. And and now we'll take it down. So you're gonna, first, in the morning, if you can, let the tent sit up until the sun comes out. Because if not, you're gonna have a wet tent and you're gonna have a moldy tent, unless you can go home and sort of set it up in your driveway when you get home and let it dry out. You want to let your tent dry out. So that'd be the last time you use that tent. First and last. All right, so you just unclip. Just unhook everything. If I hit you, is that a failing grade?
Definitely fun.
So trying not to hit you, sorry.
No.
All right, so this is how it goes. And then get that down. And they usually come in a bag, so put it back in the bag. Back in the bag so you don't lose your parts. So you want to pretend. Lay it out flat. Usually if you buy a brand new tent, you can kind of see the creases. That's why I always put it up at home. Put it up and take it down. That way I know how to put it back in the bag. This crease is so good. This particular one. Same way you roll a sleeping bag. Yeah, roll a sleeping bag. Back into that. So in case you never put up a tent, that's how you put up a tent. Really quick, really easy. And we have fun with it, like in our backyard. We use it, but I do go camping a lot, so. Never been, you might want to try it. Just don't go in the middle of the summer because you guys like it. It's way too hot here.